Welcome to today's episode of Your Daily Scrum. I'm professional Scrum trainer Ryan Ripley. This gentleman over yonder is professional Scrum trainer Todd Miller. Todd, what's up? How you doing today?
If I was any better, vitamins would be taking me, Ryan.
Indeed, Todd. Indeed. All right. Today we've got a question. Came straight out of one of our classes. Does Scrum require component teams or feature teams? What do you think, bud?
Technical answer: Scrum doesn't care.
Scrum don't care.
Scrum don't care. Scrum doesn't say. Scrum doesn't care whether you're component teams or feature teams. Scrum just says, "Go do good things." Right? Build increments.
Cross-functional, self-managing team that can deliver an increment. But you know what, Todd? By definition, can a component team do that?
No.
So I have issue with this. I actually think Scrum kind of does require a feature team.
Yeah, I can't really ever think of a situation where I've been in where component teams seemed like the right thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's a context outside of software where this makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you know what? Let's see if the listeners can help us, or viewers can help us. If you can think of a situation where a component team let's define component and feature team. Maybe we're ahead of ourselves. So I would see a component team as being a team, like if we're working on a software project or product, it would be the front end. They're building the pretty pictures. Who all the UX UI people they're going to send me hate mail. I'm just kidding. They're doing the front end work, the interface, the input areas, the graphics, the experience. And then you have a back end team. Maybe they're doing some of the database work. Then you have another team that's doing the middleware piece. So it's components of a product, but not a full-fledged feature that works from top to bottom, right? That would be a feature team. A feature team is working full stack, top to bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I struggle to find where component teams make sense.
I can tell you where it happens. Like, let's talk about a little bit about what happens, because I've worked in these environments before where you have component teams, where you have a database engineering team, you have a web services team, you have a front end team. What happens, then you have even test, right? You have a test team, you have all that kind of stuff happening. What happens is a dependency management nightmare.
Yep.
And you also have major integration problems. Like, what happens then too is finger pointing, right? It's just a lot of stuff. I can't in good conscience think of a time. Even I've worked with hardware software teams, right? And them working together and solving problems together was the right thing to do, rather than being like, here's the hardware. Wasn't this a Steve Jobs thing? Didn't he go on a campus and see a hardware guy walking across the courtyard to hardware to the software building and said, Apple will never operate this way? Did something like that.
I don't know. It sounds like something that could be true.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on this. I tend, if it's my money, I'd like feature teams. I want to be able to look at something end to end each and every sprint. That's really an increment, right? Something that's, in Scrum Guide 2020, they made a shift to usable. Is it usable if it's just a component?
No.
I'm actually thinking feature teams we're kind of moving in that direction of them being required. It's not explicitly stated, but it's implied.
Yeah.
Right. And so we prefer the feature teams. We want to work from top to bottom to have something that's, releasable, usable, potentially valuable. And so does Scrum require component teams or over a feature team or vice versa? Not yet, but the implications are becoming a little bit clearer that feature teams are cross-functional. Right? They are self-managing, and they can deliver an increment of valuable product without help from anyone else outside the team, right?
Yeah, with no dependency.
I don't think a component team can do that.
They can do that. I don't know. I just think of all the times where you start hiring people to manage the dependencies.
Yeah.
Right.
So actually, Todd, I'm going to say something controversial. Scrum does require a feature team. Enough of dancing around it. Scrum requires feature teams. If you're not utilizing feature teams, you're not using teams who can independently ship increments by the end of a sprint.
Yeah, I want to see comments for anybody that believes they're in a situation. Because so maybe we're remiss. Maybe outside of software development, there is some scenario. But you and I have done quite a bit of Scrum outside of software.
quite a bit. And
So I still can't think of a case where it's like, I mean, is this just the result? Is this conversation all just the result of the way organizations are structured in silos? We have the marketing department. We have the sales department. Yep. We have the accounting department. They all have their own little holiday parties, right? Like without each other.
And that's organized for management, not for delivery.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a different video, right?
Yeah, that's so true.
Well, all right, Mr. Miller. I think we got this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch off the banner and switch us over to the M plate. Be sure to check out the socials, like and subscribe so that you know when the next Your Daily Scrum podcast drops. Check out the videos we provided below. Perhaps they could help you as well. Leave us a comment. We want to know, is there a time where component teams make more sense? We'd love to learn from you. And as you know, I think that's it for today. I'm Ryan Ripley. That's Todd Miller. Hey, go forth, do good things. Have a great day.
Cheers, everybody.